Hi, welcome to Be More Yogic. My name is Amanda D, and today I'm going to take you through a core workout. Also, I'm going to be leading up to the pose Eka Pada Bakasana, which is one-legged crow pose. It's quite a challenging pose, but once you start to play with it and finally get it, it's strengthening for the wrist, the shoulders, the arms. It's also a great back strengthener, a hip opener. It also opens up the back hip flexor. So we're going to start by making sure that you have two blocks. You don't necessarily need them. If you don't have them, you can manage this class without. You will need a strap of some sort, whether it's a belt, a long belt, or a tie. We're going to first start at the back of the mat. You're going to roll the mat up. Now from there you're going to take this roll and you're going to bring it between the belly and the top of the thighs. Have the feet about 2 fist distance apart. And then you're going to get your lower ribs over the roll. Drop the head. And this will help, especially if your hamstrings are tight, it will stop you rounding in your lower back because you have to keep the roll in place. So you'll have to keep your knees slightly bent. Do reach your sit bones up. Allow the back of the neck to soften, the shoulders to lift. Have the weight over the front of the heels, arches lifted, big toes press in. Some of you might be able to straighten the legs, but don't let go of that roll. It also presses into the soft tissue of the belly, which is like doing the belly roll. It helps digestion, it helps any stuck food that's in the intestines. Release the back of the neck. Three more breaths in and out. 2 breaths and breathing out. Last one and exhaling. Bend your knees, take hold of the roll, place it down onto the floor. And now you're going to climb your feet over the roll so that the heels come right to the edges of the mat. Coming into squat position. Press your elbows to your inner knees, press your heart to your thumbs. Inhale halfway through the nose. Kalabati breath, short, sharp exhalations through the nose. Keep it going, slow it down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your hands to the floor as you inhale and step behind the roll so the balls of the feet are on the roll. Now expel the air out of the mouth and fold. Hold the breath out. Come into a flat back. Suction the navel in and up, Uddiyana Bandha. Lift the pelvic floor muscles, chin to your throat. Lift the chin, sipping a bit more air, releasing the bandhas. And then exhaling, folding forward over the legs. So the heels are on the floor. The balls of the feet are up the roll, so you get a nice stretch in the back of the calves and the hamstrings. Again, bend your knees accordingly so that you're not rounded in your lower back. And let's undo the mat. Stepping off the roll. Bring the back into position. And you're going to come down onto your backs. Reach your arms above your head and hook your thumbs. Pull the thumbs apart as you squeeze your biceps in. Lift your legs up in the air, flex the feet. If your hamstrings are tight, bend the knees slightly. Take a deep breath in and see if you can find your natural lumbar curve so you're not flattening out the lower back. Keep the lower ribs in and exhale, lower the legs 1/3 of the way. Take a breath in, lengthen. Exhale, lower the legs 2/3 of the way. Take a breath in. Either stay here or hover the heels. Keep the lower ribs in and slowly lift the legs back up. Lower the legs 1/3 of the way and pause. Natural lumbar curve. Take a breath in, lower ribs in. Lower the legs 2/3 of the way. Take a breath in. Maybe hover the heels or stay where you are. Slowly lift the legs back to 90. Exhale, lower the legs 1/3 of the way. Take a breath in. Reach through the heels. Exhale, lower 2/3 of the way. Take a breath in. Hover the heels maybe off the floor. Keeping the pelvis steady. Breathe in. Lower the legs 1/3 of the way and pause. Take a breath in. Lower the legs 2/3 of the way and pause. Take a breath in. Maybe hover the legs, lift the head, chin towards your throat. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knees, place your feet onto the floor. You're going to stack your right ankle over the top of the left. And you're going to thread the needle. Thread your right arm through the hole and interlace your fingers behind the hamstring. Press your right elbow into the knee as you draw the left knee towards your left shoulder. Keep flexing through that right foot to protect the knee. Keep the tail grounded. Maybe you can thread now both your arms through the hole. Turn your palms to face you. Now inhale, extend the left leg up in the air. Exhale, lower that left leg forward and down. And just slide your left hand a little closer towards the right ankle. Foot is flexed. Take a breath in there. Reach through that straight left leg. And then exhale, bend the knee and push the ankle a little closer towards the left shoulder. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, lower the leg forward and down. Take a breath in there. Press through the heel and exhale, bend the left knee into the ankle. 2 more times. Inhale, extend the leg up. Lower the left leg forward and down. Take a breath in, reach through that straight leg. Exhale, knee to the ankle. Inhale, left leg up to the sky. Lower the left leg forward and down. Now stay there. Maybe you can bring the heel towards the floor. Open the back of the left knee towards the floor as best you can. Keep your right foot flexed. And this is pigeon pose on your back. Reclined pigeon. Keep rolling the left inner thigh towards the floor so that straight leg, the toes are turning up towards the sky. A few more breaths. Bend the left knee, ankle, knee back to the right ankle. Now interlace your fingers behind the back of the head, keeping your legs in position. Lift the head up off the floor, relax the head into the hands so you're not pulling on the neck. As you breathe in, curl your tail up off the floor, curl your shoulder blades up off the floor and try and touch your elbow to the knee and to the ankle. Lower down slightly, inhale, exhale, curl up. Lower down slightly, inhale, exhale, curl up. Lower, inhale, curl up, exhale. 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 Lower, inhale. So this is gentle abdomen work. Lower, inhale, and then curl up, exhale. Now keep the head lifted, extend the left leg up towards the sky. Slide your right ankle up so it's in front of your left. And then slowly lower your legs forward and down, scooping the navel towards the floor so the lower back presses into the earth. Now maybe you can cross your wrists with your right hand on top of the left. Interlace the fingers, reach the arms above your head and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach forward, sit up, so you come into a cross-legged position. Now if you've got blocks handy, you want to use your blocks. You can also do this with the hands on the floor. It's a little bit harder. Take the hands next to your hips. Your right leg is still in front of the left. See if you can lift your bottom up. See if you can pick your feet up off the floor. Squeeze the knees to your belly. And then swing your legs through. Move your blocks off to the side. Take your hands next to your knees. You're going to lift your bottom and bend your elbows so that your elbows are over your wrists. Your shoulders are no lower than your elbows. Now pick your shoulder heads up so the heart is open, the shoulder blades are on the back. Look forward so the sides of the neck lift and tuck your toes under. Take a breath in. Now without moving the position of the arms, jump back chaturanga. Pull forward and up, upward dog, inhale. Tuck your toes back to chaturanga. Press up plank, breathe in. Down dog, pressing back, breathe out. Let's do that again or stay where you are. Plank. Move forward, look forward, bend the elbows halfway. Upward dog, pull through, inhale. Legs are strong, maybe tuck the toes. Back to chaturanga. Press up plank. Down dog, exhale. Either stay here or just one more of those. Plank pose, look forward. Lower back is long. Bend the elbows halfway. Upward dog, pull through, ground your inner palms. Back to chaturanga, tuck your toes, bend the elbows. Plank, lift your hips up and back, down dog. You're going to lift your right leg up in the air. Open the hip and bend the knee, pulling the left outer hip back. And press your left heel to the floor. Square your shoulders, right shoulder down, left shoulder lifts. Lift through the lower belly. And then extend the spine back. Shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, bring your right knee towards your right shoulder. Lift your hips high and step that right foot to the outside of your right hand. Lower your back knee down, pull your hips back, straightening through the front leg. Hips are over your back knee. Either stay here or dip your elbows towards the inside of that leg. Pull the right leg back so the leg plugs into the socket and press through the heel. 3 breaths, inhale. Exhaling 1. 2 breaths, inhale. Exhaling 2. Last one. Slide the foot back a tiny bit so when you bend the knee is over the ankle. Now you can keep your back knee down. If you do have a block handy, lift your back knee and you're going to bring the block on the third height underneath that left thigh bone. And that's going to encourage the left hip point to lift. The tendency in this pose is to sink into the left hip. which overstretches the tendon of the hip flexor. So that's just going to keep it in place. If you don't have a block handy, then just stay in position with the back left thigh bone lifting up. Squeeze your front knee into the shoulder. Again, your knee is over the ankle. Some of you can start to bend the elbows, reaching the heart forward. Maybe you can bring your elbows down to the floor, or if you've got a second block handy, onto a block. Squeeze the right knee into the shoulder so it's not winging out. Press through the back heel and engage that back leg. 3 breaths. Breathe in, out, 1. 2 breaths. Exhaling, 2. Last one. Exhaling, 3. Come back up onto your hands and move that block off to the side if it's there, so it's out of your way. Center of the palms as wide as your outer shoulder, spread the fingers, and then without lifting your hips, step back to plank pose. Lean to the right slightly, see if you can pick up the left foot. Press through the heel, lift through the lower belly, lengthen your tail. Either stay here or see if you can pick up your right hand and find a balance. Bring the right hand down, bring the left foot down, move forward as you inhale, bend the elbows straight back, keep the shoulder heads lifting away from the floor as you lower all the way down. Point through the toes and pull forward and up into cobra, your legs are engaged, inner thighs spin up. Press back to all fours. So you're going to have your wrists under your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Lift through the lower belly, lengthen your tail, shoulder blades on the back. Reach the left leg back behind you and spin that left inner thigh up to the ceiling. Either stay here or reach your right arm forward. So balance requires the core, so stay steady in your pelvis. And then see if you can touch your elbow to your knee as you exhale. Left leg back, right arm forward, breathe in. Exhale, knee to the elbow. Leg back, arm forward, breathe in. Keep the belly lifted, exhale, knee to the elbow. Right arm forward, left leg back, knee to elbow. Now reach the leg back, the arm forward, bend the back knee and see if you can reach towards the ankle. Maybe you can catch hold of the ankle. Roll the right shoulder up and back so the front of the chest is open, and kick the foot back to stretch out the heart and the belly. 3 breaths, inhale. Exhaling, 1. 2 breaths, inhale. Exhaling, 2. See if you can lift the leg a little higher. Exhaling, 3. Extend the left leg back and bring the right hand under your shoulder. Tuck your left toes under. Now you're going to pick up your right knee, hop your left foot a little closer, and bring that right knee to the right tricep. Now keeping the knee pushing into the arm, take your right toes down to the floor exactly where they land. Now see if you can lean forward, look forward, the knee still touching the tricep. Lift the left leg up. Roll the left inner thigh up to the ceiling. So this is a variation of Ekapada Bakasana, half one-legged crow. One-legged crow, should I say. Step the left foot back. 3-legged dog, inhale the right leg up and back. And then exhale, step the right foot between your hands. Step the back foot forward, inhale to a flat back. Bring the hands underneath your feet and curl your toes right up the wrist creases. Press your big toes into the thumb knuckles, belly on your thighs and drop your head. This would just help to release the wrist after all that weight we've been putting on our hands. So it should feel good. Release your hands, bring your bottom down. And now we're on the other side. So come down onto your backs. Bring your left ankle on top of your right thigh, flex the foot, move the left knee away from you. Draw the legs towards you and interlace your fingers behind the back of the right hamstring. Pull that right knee towards the right shoulder and use your left elbow to press the left knee away from you. Keep your left foot flexed. You'll feel a stretch in the outer left hip. Now thread your right arm through the hole. Turn your palms towards you. And then try and get the shin, the calf down towards the crook of the elbows. Extend your right leg up towards the sky and slide your right arm a little closer to the ankle. And then exhale, lower that right leg forward and down, keeping the leg straight. Take a breath in to push through the heel. Bend the right knee into the ankle. Inhale the leg up. Exhale, lower the leg forward and down, leg is straight. Take a breath in. Exhale, bend the knee into the ankle, trying to push it towards the right shoulder. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, lower forward and down. Take a breath in, roll the inner thigh to the floor. Knee bends into the ankle. One more time, inhale. This time as you lower, you're going to stay there. So you're in pigeon pose on your back, recline pigeon. Take a few breaths into that outer left hip. Maybe bring the heel towards the floor and try and open the back of the knee towards the floor. Keep rolling your right toes up, inner thigh down. 3 more breaths in. Breathing out 1. 2 breaths, inhale. Exhaling 2. Last 1, inhale. And exhaling 3. Bend the right knee back into the ankle. Keep the left foot flexed. Release your arms and take your hands behind the back of the head. Lift your head up off the floor, but release your head into the hands so you're not pulling on the neck. Take a breath in. As you exhale, curl your tail up. Try and touch your elbows towards the ankle and knee. Lower tiny, tiny little bit. So it's like little pulses. Exhale, curl up. Lower, breathe in. Curl, exhale. Lower, inhale. Curl up, exhale. Lower, inhale. Curl up, exhale. Lower. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale. And breathe in. Now you're going to extend the right leg up in the air. Keep the head lifted. Slide the left ankle up to meet your right ankle so your left leg is in front now. Press your lower back firmly into the floor and lower the legs so they hover. Now reach your arms forward. Cross your left wrist on top of the right. Interlace the fingers. Either stay here or take your arms above your head and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach forward with your hands and see if you can sit all the way up with the legs crossed. Your left leg is now in front of the right. Either your hands are on the floor or bring the blocks into the side of the hips. Lift your bottom off the floor. See if you can pick up your knees, pick up your feet, and then swing your legs through to come onto your shins. Move the blocks out of the way if you're using them. Hands next to your knees. Lift yourself up and bend the elbows so that the elbows are over the wrist. The shoulders are a little higher or the same height as your elbows. Lift your shoulder head so the chest is open. Look forward. Tuck your toes. Breathe in without changing the arm position. Chaturanga. Upward dog. Pull through. Down dog. Exhale. Either stay here or roll forward into plank pose, look forward, bend the elbows halfway, upward dog, pull the heart through, ground down your inner palms, back to chaturanga, tuck your toes, press up plank, down dog, pushing into your fingertips. Either stay here or just one more of those. Inhale, move forward, elbows over your wrists, shoulders no lower than your elbows, upward dog, pull through, maybe back to chaturanga, plank, and down dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up in the air, hips square at first, then open the hip and bend the knee. Square your shoulders to the floor so the left shoulder comes down, right shoulder lifts. Press your right heel back, and then lift through the lower belly. Ears in line with the arms. Exhale, left knee to your left shoulder. Lift your hips high. Step the left foot to the outside of your left hand. Knee over the ankle. Lower your back knee down to the floor and pull your hips back. Slide the heel an inch forward so your hips are over your back knee. Reach the heart forward, hands on the inside of the leg. Flex through that front foot, and maybe you can start to bend the elbows towards the floor. Left outer hip pulls back, 3 breaths. Breathe in out, 1, 2 breaths. Exhaling 2. Suction the leg back. Last one. And exhaling 3. Slide the heel back that same inch and then bend the front knee so the knee's over the ankle. Either stay here pressing your hips forward. If you have a block handy, maybe you want to tuck your back toes, bring the block underneath that thigh on the third height. So it's encouraging that right hip point to lift so it doesn't collapse down. Either stay here or start to bend your elbows towards the floor. So maybe you can lower your elbows all the way down. Squeeze your left knee into the side of the shoulder and pull the heart through. Keep engaging that back leg, pressing through the heel. 3 more breaths in. Breathing out, 1, 2 breaths. Exhaling 2. Last one. Exhaling 3. If you run your elbows, come back up onto your hands. Move your block out of the way. Center of the palms as wide as your outer shoulders, fingers spreading. You're going to step back to plank pose. Lift through the lower belly, lengthen your tail. Either stay here or lift the right leg up. Some of you can lean the weight a little more towards your right hand and see if you can touch your left hand to the elbow. Press into the fingertips, gaze steady, back leg straight. Bring the left hand down, right foot down. Move the weight forward, look forward and slowly lower to the belly. Shoulder heads lift. Pull forward and up to cobra. Press back to all fours. Wrists under your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Now you're going to reach your right leg back in the air, press through the heel, lift through the belly. Then see if you can reach your left arm forward. Exhale, touch the elbow to the knee. Inhale the leg back, the arm forward. Exhale, elbow to the knee. Leg back, arm forward. Elbow to knee. Leg back, arm forward. Elbow to knee. Leg back, arm forward. Bend that back knee. Maybe reach your left hand towards the foot. Maybe catch hold of the ankle. Flex the foot, kick the foot back. Square your shoulders forward. Lift through the belly. 3 breaths, inhale. Exhaling 1. 2 breaths, inhale. Exhaling 2. Last one. And exhaling 3. Extend the right leg back. Bring your left hand under your shoulder and bring your right toes to the floor so that right leg stays straight. Now you're going to pick the left knee up Bring it again towards the left shoulder. See if you can hop your right foot in a little closer so your hips are higher. Now pressing the knee into the back of the arm, so you're touching the knee to the arm. You're going to bring your left foot to the floor exactly where it lands. Keep the knee touching the arm, move the weight forward, and see if you can pick up your right leg. So again, this is a modification of Ekapada Bakasana, one-legged crow. So you get to experience what it feels like to lift that back leg. Step the foot down, three-legged dog. Inhale the left leg up and back, hips square. Now you're going to step your left foot behind your right wrist. Take your right hand onto the big toe. Pull your hips back and straighten the front leg. So it's an IT bend stretch. Sway your hips over to the right. The IT bend is the tendon on the outside of that left thigh. This is a lot for you. Just know you can always use your blocks here, moving the blocks to the left of the foot, reaching your heart forward. Press firmly down into the big toe. Bend the front knee and then step your right foot off your mat, so your feet together. Sit on your heels, right elbow to the outer thigh, take your hands into prayer. Push down into the prayer and lift your heart to your thumbs. Lean your head and heart back. Either stay here or plank your hands to the side of your mat, bringing your left hip onto the left elbow, playing with side crow. And if you want to find the side crow tutorial to learn this pose, it's online. Bring the feet back down. Hands come to the front of the mat. You're going to take a big giant step over the mat with the left foot so your feet are as wide as your mat. Inhale, lengthen to a flat back, weight over the arches. Exhale, fold. Drop the head. Bend the knees if you need. Come into a flat back. You're going to heel toe your feet together. Move the weight into the heels and bend the knees. Now look at your toes, roll yourself all the way up. So you want to keep seeing your toes. So your weight is moving back. Reach your arms forward and plug the arms into the sockets. Now we're going to do an exercise to pick up the heart rate. So I want you to swing your arms back. And then you're going to take a hop and land back. Hop. Squeeze your legs in. Every time you land, you want to land with bent knees. Find a steady breath. Big, long, full breaths. "20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Try to stay on your mat. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Bring your knees down to the floor. Sitting with a block between your feet or sitting your heels. This will allow the legs to stretch, the legs to rest. Pin your heels towards each other so they're in front of the sit bones, so the feet aren't sickled. Interlace your fingers behind the back, right index finger in front. Reach the fist back, lift the heart. Maybe your thumbs touch the floor. Use that to press the chest up. Change the interlacing, reaching the fist back. Maybe your thumbs touch the floor, lift the heart. Lengthen your tail. Step back to down dog, stretch out your legs. Take a breath in, now let it out through your mouth by pressing through your lips. Let's just relax the jaw and the face again. Inhale, and again. One more, inhale, and step your right foot behind your left wrist. Take your left hand onto the right big toe, straighten both your legs. Pull the right outer hip back, so the top of the thighs kiss, and fold for that IT bend stretch. Again, if your hamstrings are tight, you've got your blocks. The blocks are to the right of the foot, and you're pulling the right hip back. Keep this big toe mound grounded, so your foot's not lifting. So you're using the energy of the inner foot. Bend the front knee, you're going to step your left foot next to your right, so you're to the side of your mat there. Feet are together, bend the knees. And then taking your hands into prayer position. Squeeze your knees together, squeeze your ankles, lift your heart to your thumbs. Either stay here, or if you want to play with your side crow, hands to the floor, bringing the hip to the elbow, or maybe doing it without. Find the tutorial on side crow if you want to learn this pose. And then bring the feet down. You're going to step your right foot wide again. And then I'm going to find my strap, which is back there, so I'll just grab it. So grab your strap. Going to heel toe your feet together. Bend the knees and roll yourself all the way up. Take your strap and you're going to bring it behind you. Again, you can use a tie or a regular belt. Your palms face back and your hands are as wide as your hips. Roll the shoulder heads on the back. Reach your hands down as the heart lifts up. Lengthen your tail towards the back of the heels. Hips back, tail lengthens. And then from here, bend the knees and you're going to fold. So if you've ever done the pose where you interlace your fingers behind your back and get your fist over your head, if your shoulders are really tight, it's really extreme on the shoulders, so you can always use a belt like this. Lift your shoulders away from your ears and reach your hands over. Shoulders lift, hands over. Pull on your belt so you compact the top of the shoulder heads towards each other. Now start to bend your knees. Bring the fist to the floor, but keep hold of the belt. And come onto your tippy toes. Now you're going to take the strap over towards the right. Reach the elbow forward and see if you can slide the bicep in front of the shin. Now the belt goes over the top of the back. You slide that left hand out a little more on the belt. Open your left knee. Reach the left elbow forward and see if you can slide that left bicep in front of the shin and then wiggle down. So you're in full Malasana pose, full garland pose. Press your heels back. Now if this isn't working for you, you can always do the modified variation without the strap. So feet are still touching, big toes touching, heels touching. Reach your elbows towards the floor and you squeeze your knees in. So Malasana garland pose, which is a preparation for full Bakasana. Squeeze your knees to the side of the shoulders, pull your triceps back. Lift up onto your tippy toes, look forward. Now you want to get more weight over there. So lift your bottom, slide the weight forward, press into your fingertips, and see if you can pick up your feet. Squeeze your heels to your bottom, press your hands down, see if you can straighten your arms, cat spine your middle back, but pull your heart forward. Press into your fingertips, try to pick your knees up off your arms, feel that kind of energy, and then feet down, take your bottom to the floor. Bring your left heel towards your groin, bump your right foot in front of it. So you're in half Baddha Konasana, half Torasana. Slide the flesh of your bottom back. Lift through the heart, and then exhale, lengthen and fold. Lift yourself up, change feet, right heel draws into your groin, left heel bumps up against that right foot. I didn't say this before, but if your hips are really tight and you're rounding, hands behind you, tilt the pelvis forward. You want to lengthen so your navel reaches towards that front heel. Widen your knees apart away from each other. And now finally, the grand finale pose, Eka Pada Bakasana, one-legged crow. So like I said, this is a challenging pose, but it's something to work up to. You shouldn't be able to do everything, otherwise we have nothing to direct our focus towards. So I used to wonder in this pose why sometimes when I did it, it would be super, super hard. And then other times it would still be hard, but I was able to get the leg up. Now what I found is that when you're doing Bakasana crow pose, the top of the shin, so this part of the leg bone, the top of the shin, the front of the knee, is on the back of the tricep. Now when I tried to do that in one-legged crow, and I'll show you, my hips are lower, and then it was really hard for me to get that leg back. So I figured out what it was I was doing when it sometimes was a little easier. So take your thigh bone, think of the lower part of your thigh bone, not the top of the shin. You see the difference? Here, not here. Now when you come into this pose, like with your line before, your elbows have to be over your wrists, your shoulders need to go forward. So it's almost like you're about to face plant. Your shoulders stay higher than your elbows, so it's your chaturanga arms. So that's what you're going to see me do with my arms. The bent knee, the heel has to squeeze in, so that if you don't squeeze the heel in, this part of the leg becomes kind of floppy. So you want to tighten this muscle by squeezing the heel in. Now to get into position, you'll see me do that. So you lift your bottom, you squeeze the right heel in. Now again, it's the lower part of the thigh, not the shin, the lower part of the thigh. You see, you have to get my bottom higher, squeeze the heel in, I reach my chin forward, I lift my left hip point, and then see if you can lift the leg up. Once the leg is up, you almost feel lightweight. You can try that on the other side. So just take a moment, take the back of the hands next to your knees, and then move the elbows back. Try the other side. So again, you'll see that it comes forward this much, elbows over your wrists, pressing your fingertips into the floor. Lift your knees, bend the left knee, bring the lower part of the thigh, not the shin, onto the arm, squeeze the heel in tightly, lift your right hip point, look forward, And see if you can lift your right leg. And then come down. Take a block between your feet. I'm just going to sit for a moment to let the energy settle. If this is uncomfortable for you, please sit in a cross-legged position. Knees together, pinky toes on the floor. Rest your right hand on top of your left hand, thumbs together. Roll the shoulders up and back. And close your eyes. Bring your mind to all the sounds around you. Listening as far as your ear can travel. Every time your mind comes into dialogue, notice that you're thinking. Let the words go and come back to the simple sounds. Soften your legs. Soften the belly. Draw the sides of the neck back so the neck doesn't have to work to hold the head up. Open across your heart. Find a soft smile to the corners of your lips. Keep simply listening. Either stay sitting here for longer, or you can find one of the yoga nidras online, coming down into your shavasana, and stay in there for about another 7 to 12 minutes if you have time. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Take a deep breath in. Slowly float the eyes open. Blink a few times. Thank you for joining me at Be More Yogic. My name's Amanda D. Hope to see you soon. Namaste.